Welcome to a new class of Microsoft PowerPoint. In this class, I'm going to be showing you and uncovering everything that you need to know about designing your presentation. In my previous class, I've shown you about the text, symbol, and media. So I covered up everything that you need to know about step. So we're also going to move on our classes step by step. And I would just suggest you that after each and every class, practice things or practice what I've shown you on your own to get more familiar and to find it more convenient. So without any further ado, let's move on to our class by opening up Microsoft PowerPoint on our device. As you can see on my screen, I have opened up Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, the first thing that we need to know about designing your own workspace starts off with the design template, or let's say from the design workspace or the design ribbon. Now, obviously, you'll be able to start out designing your presentation in different methods by using templates or themes. But the most easiest method and the most convenient and simplest method is to go off to the design ribbon. In the design ribbon, you will find out specific themes for your workspace or for your presentation. And obviously, you can find out and choose whichever variant you want, which meets up your criteria. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind is that obviously, if you want to start off marketing or if you want to apply some marketing skills over on your presentation to make it look more attractive so that you can gain a lot more attention from your audience, so you have to start off with any specific color theme. So you'll be able to select color themes. And obviously, Microsoft PowerPoint gives you off that functionality to select it inside of your workspace. So I'm going to start off with the most basic ones, and then I'm going to move on to more advanced or more, let's say, complicated. Not even complicated, but it is simple, but you just have to, do your own research on it. First off, we have is this themes option. So from here in these themes, there are a couple of these themes which you'll be able to apply. And another thing that you will see over here is that you will get a preview of each and every one of these themes when you hover your mouse over them. You'll be able to extend up all of these Office themes which you want to use, and then you will also be able to navigate through it just by using these buttons. Okay, now I'm going to extend it up, and now you'll be able to select whichever color you want. Now starting off from the most basic one is our white one, which we are using it by default. Now, if you want to change the way it looks like, you can use different colors like this, like maybe black, or you can also choose different color themes to like actually pop up the color inside of your workspace. Now, we also have specific fonts which you'll be able to work with. So when you basically select any color theme or any specific font, you'll be able to use the font family of those. So just in case, I'm going to be showing you from these variants. Now from here, I want to use any specific theme, let's say maybe green yellow. It has already been applied, and now you can see that the colors of these themes or the colors of these objects has now already been changed. Another thing which you will notice when you change any theme is that if you go off the home and if you select on any of these shapes and then go off the color option, you will find out those type of color themes are now available and are easier to get than the other ones which were available right now. So if you still don't see any differences, what you're gonna do is go off back into the design ribbon. Make sure to check out the colors again. This is how the color palette looks like. If I go off the design, if I go off over here, click on colors, and now I want to use yellow orange, you can see everything will turn into those yellow orange. And even if I go off the home and select the colors, you can see the color palette has now been changed. It also works the same way with fonts. If you just go off to design, go off over here and click on any one of these fonts, it will change into those type of fonts. Maybe just in case I want to use Century Gothic. So if I click on Century Gothic, it will apply the Century Gothic text. Now, even if it doesn't, just go off the design again, click on this over here, go off the fonts and click on this options over here. So I'm going to select on Century Gothic, and there we go. We have the text. If we go off the home, and you can see we have the Latino type body, and for the title or the heading, we have Century Gothic. So you'll be able to apply whichever one you want, and it is just more convenient and saves up a lot of more time to actually, concat all of these type of themes and all of these type of fonts which actually go along with the whole thing. Let's go off the design now. Now what I'm going to show you is going to be the effect. If you want to apply any effect, you can also any effect, and all of the elements inside of your workspace will have that effect. So maybe if I want to use grunge texture, I can also use riblet, I can use glossy, I can use extreme, reflection, whichever one you prefer, it will be applied. Not only on one, it will apply it on all of the elements that you have on your workspace. So this is how it will work on colors, fonts, and effects. Now the same thing works on the background styles. It's going to change the background styles of everything. And you can see it is also related or also similar to our color palette, which we've selected. So now if I use this, this is how it should look like. And all of the pages and the color will obviously be changed. So if I go off over here and if I just select on this and if I go off the background styles, I'll be able to change the color. Now, if I want to use any different color, I'm just going to select any one of these. Let's say maybe I want to use blue-green. And if I just go off over here, go off the background styles, you can see the color has been changed. So I'll be able to change the color whenever I want to. Now let's move on with our other elements. So here we have checked out the variations, right? Now let's go off of the themes. Now, what if I want to apply any one of these themes? I'll be able to apply it. Just click on any one, and there we go. We have applied the themes into my workspace or onto my slides. And you can also see the text has also changed. We have applied Century Gothic, but when we change out the themes, it's going to have all of its properties such as text, color, the element, all of those. So if I go off the variants, I'll also be able to change out the variants of whichever one I prefer. Maybe I want to use this, so I can click on it and it will be applied on each and every one. If I click on this back, it will just turn everything into blue again. So this is how you'll be able to check the differences of each and every one of these themes. And there are a couple of variations to select from too. There we go. We also have this, and we can also see the color. This is how the color will look like. We can also see that the font which we are using right now is not over here, but obviously it is using a property of any specific font or any specific theme. You can go off the background styles. You'll be able to change out the color anytime you want to. So this is how basically the font section will work. You will also be able to browse any of the themes by being directly onto the workspace just by clicking on this button. So if you click on browse from themes or browse for themes, you just basically have to download any of the themes which you have on your device, and you'll be able to open it up directly from this dialog box. Just select up any of the themes and then press on open, and that theme will be applied onto your presentation. So that is basically how simple it is to work with themes or how you can customize your own theme. Then we also have this save current theme. If you have like any specific like customizations done and you want to save it off for future purpose or later purpose, you can also use it. So you can save it up. So it is also very convenient at certain times. So just in case, if I'm using this, and what I want to do is I'm going to go off change the colors. So maybe I want to use this red violet. And what I want to do is I'm going to go off the fonts and I want to use maybe like Arial Black or maybe Gill Sans. So just in case I want to use Arial Black. So all of these properties or all of these customizations, I want it to be applied or I want to save it for a future purpose. So what I can do is I also want maybe effect to be applied. So I'm going to apply glow edges and I want this property to be applied. So what I want to do is I want to save this up, save up current theme. I'm going to go off the desktop. I'm going to go off to August. Okay, I'm going to go off here, PowerPoint, resources, and this is where I want to save it up. If I click on save, this specific theme or all of the properties or customizations which I have applied will be applied over here. So if I just go off the file, click on new, I'm going to create a blank presentation. Here I'm going to create a shape like this. I'm going to apply a bit of text. Now, if I just go off the design and if I go off over here and I'm going to browse for theme, let's just go off to that specific, let's say, file again. There we go. We have theme one. Let's open up the theme. And there we go. We have applied our theme and however we have customized it. So if I click on this and if I just go off over here, go off to effects, you will basically see nothing has been applied yet. But if you just click on over here, you can see the corners are basically the same as we did over here. So if I click on this, you can see the effect which we've applied is glow edges. We can also change it off into something else if we want to. Okay, so whatever customizations you do, you'll be able to save it up for your later purpose. So this is basically how it will work. So I'm going to go back into my previous file so I can start off customizations. The next things, what you can basically do is the slide size. Now there are two different types of orientation or two different types of aspect ratio. One is 4:3 and the other one is 16:9, which is universal and is used most of the time. But in couple of cases, such as older devices and couple of, let's say, projectors, like, older type of projectors, and there are a couple of projectors which do not support 16:9. So therefore, PowerPoint presentation gives you off that support of using either 4:3 or 16:9. Well, 16:9 is a default aspect ratio or default aspect, okay? But you'll also be able to change it back into 4:3. Now, another thing that you will check when you change or try to change your presentation into 4:3 is that you can maximize the resolution or maximize the elements, or you can ensure the fit. If I click on maximize, you will see basically there is going to be a couple of parts that are going to be cut off. If I go after the fourth slide, you can basically see that all of these parts have been cut off from the slide. But we do not want that, right? So if I click on like slide size and if I have to go after 16:9 again, I'm going to fix up the sizes, fix up everywhere it is. And if I click on slide size 4:3 and if I click on ensure fit, everything that you have inside of your slide of 16:9 is going to ensure the fit inside of the 4:3 aspect ratio. So everything is basically congested inside of your workspace or onto your slide. Then you'll also be able to use custom slide sizes too. You can fix up the width and also the height, the number of slides, and you can see slide size from whichever aspect ratio you want, maybe overhead, banner, 16:9, 16:10, widescreen, custom. You can also use different millimeters or even inches if you want to use. We also have a couple of orientations such as portrait, landscape. Then we also have notes, handouts, or even outlines. You'll be able to select. And if I want to use landscape, I'm going to press on OK, and then you're basically good to go. You'll also be able to fix out different sizes. So just in case I want to use A4 paper, press on OK, ensure to fit. There we go. This is how it will look like. And you'll also be able to print it out according to the size. Okay. The last option which remains is the format background. You'll be able to customize your background individually. So if you want to fix in, let's say maybe I want to fix in the solid fill, you'll be able to change a color. There we go. This is how it works, but I don't want any. So I'm going to remove or keep it just white. You can also apply gradient fill. You can fix out the gradient fill. There are two types of colors, whichever type of, gradient you want, maybe a radial, rectangular, maybe path, or maybe even a shade from title, whichever one you prefer. So I'm just going to keep it rectangle just in case. And you'll also be able to fix out the gradient stops. You can fix this out just like this. You can also apply more. You can see I have applied the fourth one. There we go. I'm going to apply another one. Keep it slow or keep it steady. There we go. This is how it should look like. And you'll also be able to work with different colors at the same time. So you can click on colors and you can apply different colors if you want to, just by clicking on any one of these tops, click on it, and you'll be able to apply any color. Okay, this is how the gradient options work. Then we have is the position. You can fix out the position of it. You can fix out the transparency of it. You can fix out the brightness, make it black or white, and you can also rotate it according to your shape. But obviously we don't have any shape right now, so this is basically grayed out. So there we go. We have all of these options covered up. Now the next option which remains are the apply to all or reset the background. If you want to apply all of these settings, just click on apply to all. But you can see that all of these pages are going to have the same type of customizations. But if you want to reset the background, just click on reset or press on Ctrl Z to undo the process, and you can reset the background to make it how it was on default. So these are the options of how you'll be able to design your presentation in Microsoft PowerPoint. The other method is also very simple, but I've already shown you how you'll be able to do it. But let's get on again. So if I just go off to home over here, you can basically see we have all of these options over here. But let's just go off the file. Click on new, and you will find out a lot of these themes or a lot of these templates to use from. So maybe just in case I want something professional or business related. So I'm going to search in for business. Now, if I want to search in for any specific color, I want to also search for business red. So it's going to give me out the results of businesses and also keywords related to red. So it's going to show me all of those templates. So you can see we have only one, but I will also be able to remove out that and I can search for templates online. So there we go. We have a lot of these business related themes or templates which I'll be able to work with. Now, one thing you can see, if I find any one of them meeting up my criteria, maybe like this, I can click on it. Now, whenever I click on it, it will give you off a preview of how the template or how the slide will look like. So after I have selected everything, it's also going to show the size, and I'm going to click on create. Now, just as I click on create, it's just going to take a bit of time to download your template and apply it directly onto your slide. And you can also see that some basic like customizations will be done directly onto your slide. So you'll be able to save up a bit of time. Now, if I want to search up for business again, hit on enter. This is going to go off the new business, hit on enter, and I'm going to wait for a bit so that these open up. And I'm going to click on that and it's going to show me out how it looks like. I'm going to press on create again. And you can see this is for basically widescreen. Well, so one thing you can check over here that this is optimized for widescreen. So it's going to have like a very high ratio or a very high resolution. So there we go. This is how it should look like. You can see a lot of these slides are already made or pre-built. So basically what you have to do is just put in your elements and then you're good to go. You don't even have to put in more elements or customize it more. Okay, so let's just go off the conclusion. To save up a lot of time and a lot of work, you can just use any one of these templates or any one of these themes. And if you just go off to design again, you'll be able to change out the variation. You can change out the color. You can see the color of each and every one of them has changed. I can also go off over here and I can change the font too. You can see the font is also changing, but not only this page, the other pages will also change the font or how it actually looks like. So just in case, I'm going to change the color into something orange, and this is how it will look like. Okay. So this is how you'll be able to design your theme or design your presentation in Microsoft PowerPoint. So thank you for watching this video up till the very end and hope you understood about everything in this class. If you still have any confusion or any question about any part of this lesson, feel free to ask me anytime. I'm always there to help you out. So without any further ado, let's move on to our next class of Microsoft PowerPoint. Just make sure to fiddle through these options, fiddle through the interface to get more familiar, and find out the tools to get more convenient with it.